Hi dear friends and subscribers, welcome to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram, and we are looking at two matches. One is the match which was probably, as I said, is going to get really exciting. That was at the Basin Reserve in Wellington in the third test, but a fighting century from Kane Williamson saved the match for New Zealand. In fact, New Zealand finished with a draw over here, and actually the series went to South Africa because it was the last day for South Africa in New Zealand. They are flying back now, and the tour is over with New Zealand drawing the match, which was a great show by New Zealand, I thought, thanks to Kane Williamson showing tremendous technique, tremendous dedication, application, and also we have already known that Kane Williamson is a good player. He had a century against India too last time. So, well, once again, a fighting century from Kane Williamson. 102 runs not out in the end with 9 fours, and Doug Bracewell giving him admirable company, keeping the South African bowlers at bay, especially morkel, who really ran through this New Zealand lineup, and he had figures of 16.4 overs, 7 maidens, 23 runs and 6 wickets, and at one stage New Zealand were 83 for 5. It looked like everything was over for New Zealand, but Kane Williamson came up with a brilliant knock there, and as I said, his application, his dedication, his technique, he looks a perfect test batsman. And I think now New Zealand have somebody who has really stamped his authority as far as his batting is concerned. Kane Williamson, a fighting innings which saved New Zealand from actually losing the match, and New Zealand finished at 200 for 6, chasing 389 to win the match. As I said, South African openers, they lost Alvaro Peterson very early, who was run out for 39 with 4 fours and 1 6. After that, A.B. de Villiers joined Graham Smith, and both A.B. de Villiers picked up a very quick fire 68 of 49 balls with 8 fours and 1 6. And Graham Smith made 41 of 65 balls with 3 fours, and Duminy came in and crashed 33 of 23 balls, 2 fours and 3 sixes to actually close the South African innings. In fact, Graham Smith declared the innings closed at 189 for 3, thus setting a target of 389 for New Zealand to actually win this particular match. Now, just looking at it, Chris Martin, none for 44, nothing to really go into the bowling figures. Let's go into the New Zealand batting. And New Zealand started their quest, and as I said, morkel was the man who really, I would say, gave no chance to New Zealand. In fact, he came first ball. In fact, most of his wickets that he picked up were of beautiful Yorkers. He bowls a lot of short pitch deliveries. In fact, Daniel Flynn was the first to go, caught by Mark Burcher of the bowling of morkel for a duck, and then Brendan McCullum followed him to the pavilion with a beautiful Yorker ball by morkel. Brendan McCullum was also sent back for a duck. That made the score 2 for 1, and it soon became 32 for 3 when Martin Guptill departed. He was caught by Jack Rudolph of the bowling of morkel for 18 with 2 boundaries, and New Zealand 32 for 3 at that stage. Pushed on the score with Dean Brownlee and Kane Williamson at the crease, and Dean Brownlee got a Yorker, a real toe crusher there. Dean Brownlee couldn't keep it away from his stumps, with bowled with lots of pace by morkel, and Dean Brownlee was castled for 15 with 3 boundaries. And Daniel Vettori, first up, the very first ball that he received, Daniel Vettori tried to play at it, but it was a Yorker, but there was a sort of a swing in that as the ball went and disturbed his off stump, and Daniel Vettori was walking, and morkel was doing tremendous damage there, with New Zealand chasing 389, lot of time left. In fact, at this point of time, 83 for 5 was when Vettori left 36 overs. So you could just imagine this: 44 overs were left for the day, on the final day, and it was Kruger, Van Wyk and Kane Williamson in the middle. Kane Williamson, well, he bided his time at the crease, ducked a lot, swayed from the deliveries from Morkel and stood the test. Kruger Van Wyk, another wonderful performance from him. In fact, that was the partnership which really, it was an 80-run partnership, but in the context of things, it was a very important partnership because occupation of the crease was very vital. 35 overs were played by Kruger Van Wyk and Kane Williamson, and Kruger Van Wyk left with the score on 163. When he was out for 39 with 5 boundaries, but it was a very good knock from him too. And he has also showed not only that he's a good wicketkeeper batsman, the way he played, he really showed a lot of application for being just into his 3rd test match. And Kane Williamson got a partner then of Doug Bracewell, and then still there were signs that South Africa could still do it, because Morkel came back to the spell, but Doug Bracewell did his job of digging very well, just stood there at the crease, giving company to Kane Williamson, remaining not out on 20 or 59 balls with 4 fours. And Kane Williamson was not out on 102 with 9 fours, and that was a fighting century and a match-saving century from Kane Williamson. And this will go a long way for Kane Williamson in cementing his place in this New Zealand cricket team. And one thing I would like to tell you, there's one last over left for the day, and that was bowled by Vernon Philander, because the new ball was due. The new ball was taken, but no reward as Doug Bracewell dug it out, and the match ended in a draw. What a magnificent match this was, and as I said, Kane Williamson was the hero. Bowling figures, Morkel 6 wickets for 23 runs. I don't want to talk much about it because I need to go away from here and take you down to Sri Lanka at Galle, where match has become pretty interesting there, because this was the 2nd day's play. Can you imagine this? Yesterday, Sri Lanka had 8 wickets down with Mahela Jayawardene at the crease, but on this particular day there were 17 wickets that fell on this particular day, with 318 all out Sri Lanka. In fact, Mahela Jayawardene going on to make 180 with 22 fours and 3 sixes, and 318 all out with a 5 wicket haul for James Anderson, 5 for 72. But after that, England in reply were rolled out for 193. It was all thanks to Rangana Herod's bowling, a lot of variations. He had most of the wickets as left-handers, and he returned splendid figures of 19 overs 5 made and 74 runs on 6 wickets. And let me tell you that yesterday I told you the ball was turning, and today Rangana Herod was the man who took full advantage, immense advantage out of it, by actually getting Alistair Cook was first to go. The breakthrough was given by Suranga Lakmal, who had Alistair Cook LBW for a duck. After that, it was Jonathan Trott. He was stumped by Prasanna Jayawardene, missed the ball from Rangana Herod, fell down, and he was stumped. He was gone for 12. Kevin Peterson was bowled with Chanaka Velagadra for 3. Ian Bell played a very good knock. In fact, he was the highest scorer. He used his feet, attacked the spin. He did his bit, but he couldn't get support from the other hand. His contribution was 52 with 8 fours and 1 6. Andrew Strauss made 26. He was LBW bowled Rangana Herod to a very good delivery from Rangana Herod. He was gone, and in fact, Ian Bell was dismissed by a beauty from Rangana Herod, which actually spun out, and in fact, Ian Bell was beaten, and his stumps were dislodged. In fact, his off bail was dislodged. Matt Pryor squared up to a ball from Rangana Herod. He was LBW for 7. Samit Patel couldn't read a ball from Rangana Herod, which was the arm ball, LBW for 28. In LBW for 2, Stuart Broad came in and decided attack is the best form of defense. He did his bit to make 28 of 15 balls with 5 fours and 1 6. Again, Rangana Herod came into the picture. He was LBW for 28. Graham Swan threw his bat for 24 of 26 balls with 6 fours. Was a victim of Suraj Ranadave right arm off spinner. Suraj Ranadave cleaned up by actually having Monty Panesar out for 13 with 2 fours. James Anderson also played some very good strokes in his knock of 23, which was very useful, and 193 was the end total for England. And let me tell you, a lack of application. I thought the England batsmen really didn't apply themselves, and that was the precise reason they found themselves in such a situation. And I think it is going to be very difficult for them to actually save this match, because the ball is turning. It is turning slow, but tomorrow we are only going to the 3rd day, and we already have England batting, but I'll talk about that. Bowling figure 6 for 74 for Rangana Herath, 19 overs, 5 maidens, 74 runs and 6 wickets. And Sri Lanka in reply was struggling, even though they had a very good handy lead of 125 runs. They were really struggling as Graham Swan came in and cut a swath into the Sri Lankan batting lineup. 12 overs, 2 maidens, 28 runs and 4 wickets. He dismissed first off Dilshan, who was Dilshan was actually clean bowled by Stuart Broad for a duck. After that was Graham Swan all the way. Lairo Thiramane was clean bowled by Graham Swan for 6. Kumar Sangakkara played well, but he was out again to Graham Swan. Cordian well bowled Graham Swan for 14 with 1-4. Myra Javan, the Centurion, couldn't get on here as he actually went and touched the ball which was spinning away from him. James Anderson did the rest in the slips and he was gone for 5 with 1-4. And Thilan Samaraveera did his bit there, but Thilan Samaraveera was bowled with Graham Swan luring him out of the crease, and Thilan Samaraveera was almost halfway down the pitch and he was totally beaten. Matt Pryor actually stumped him and he was gone for 36 for 5 fours, and that made the score 72 for 5. And at close of play, Dinesh Chandimal was there batting on 17 with 3 fours, and Suraj Rendue batting on 2. So we are already seeing what's happening. So it looks a very interesting day's play coming into the 4th day. That's it from me, your host Ram for Cricket Happenings. See you all tomorrow. Thank you.